lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bomb, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Hello, and welcome to the second week of Phillies Weekly. And what a week, Jeff. What a week. The team goes 2-4. I mean, we lose a series against the San Francisco Giants up there in San Francisco, the House of Terrors. On the other hand, I mean, we come home, we said, okay, let's get things fixed with our offense. I mean, we need to start hitting and timely hitting and doing a better job. And the team goes 1-2 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I know you were there today, Jeff. I mean, it was not pretty, brother.
No, I think today was the ugliest game of the year, Oscar. Just a lot of mistakes in the field, base running, with men on base. And look, the bottom line is they've been held scoreless in 68 of their last 78 innings. I mean, when they score runs, they score them and they get a crooked number, but they don't add on to the crooked number. It's a really weird dynamic right now.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic. We're going to talk all about it. On one hand, I mean, Harper he's playing at an elite level. I mean, talking about elite and using the big word elite. I mean, he had an incredible week. He was 10 for 19, 526 batting average. I mean, with a home run, 6 RBIs. He scored 3 runs, 4 doubles. I mean, Harper was on fire this week, but the rest of the team, I mean, what? It's incredible. But what do we bring
you know what, Oscar? That's probably why he's so upset after the game today. He's hitting like an elite player, and they're 2-4. Not good.
They're 2-4, and they go 7-8, and it has not been pretty. Let's bring the dream team. We got a dream team today. John Foley's back in the house. I mean, together with Cory Nidoh and Kyle. Let's bring them all in. Here we go, guys. What's going on? How about those
what's going on, guys?
Bills?
Oh man, how about them?
How are you?
Wow, are we dreaming? What's going on, guys? I mean, it's been a very, very interesting week. I mean, a lot of dynamics going on. John, how you doing, brother? I know you got some big plans, and we're going to talk further about it as we go down on the podcast. Some very big things John is putting together. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Watched some bad baseball today. They're just, they're not good enough to overcome these mistakes. They need to play better.
Well, Harper played today at an elite level, except that base hit. Look, you got Thomas, and you have you have two of the best outfielders, Corbin Carroll, 2 of the best outfield players that there's in baseball, and you're gonna run on them on a simple base hit through the middle? No way.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, it was just an obvious single. You can't just decide it's going to be a double. And he's done this forever. But
you know what, Oscar, John, you're watching on TV, right? You're already thinking it's bad. Try watching him out of the box, and you're like, "What is he doing?" Like, come on.
And it's not the first time, right? It's like the ABS system. We're going to talk at some point about the ABS system. It's like the ABS system. What's going on here? I mean, so Harper, look, he had an elite week, but that was not an elite play, without a doubt. So, look, interesting. Kyle, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Doing well, Oscar. Jeff, good to see you. Cory, good to see you again today. And, of course, always good to see you, Foley. But, not ideal situation when you're trying to get yourself out of a hole, a rough start to the season again offensively, and when you're not playing fundamentally sound baseball, some of these cracks really start to show.
Yeah, we're going to cover all about it. Believe me, I got everything you got and then some. I mean, in terms of a lot of the split stats and who is hot, who is not, and what's going on with Alec Baum and Stott and all the dynamics. I mean, Cory, how you doing, man? How was the Penn game today?
I'm doing well. If we want to talk about some good baseball, we can talk about the Penn Quakers. They swept Cornell. Kyle joined me for the weekend series. The Quakers are right near the top of the Ivy League standing, so really fun baseball there in University City. But, today was ugly. This whole week hasn't been that great for the Phillies. You guys mentioned it. I know fans don't want to hear that it's early, but there are certainly some red flags I think that are starting to raise the eyebrows a bit here for this team this season.
I thought I saw some of the red flags after the game. It was a really quiet clubhouse today, more quieter than usual after a loss.
One thing that I wrote today, I mean, as we were setting up this podcast or this show, was to talk a little bit about. I mean, I put the theme around a slow start. What is the real story? And I'm going to tell you my theory, okay? I'm going to tell you my theory of what's going on with the Phillies right now. Look, 7-8 is not the worst start in the world. I mean, it is not a good start. It's not the worst start in the world. I do believe that the World Baseball Classic impacted this team. The fact that a lot of these players are all in their own world, like Aaron Nola started, by the way, he's probably the one that is doing the best out of all of them.
All right.
But look at Harper, look at Schwarber. I mean, you look at Taijuan Walker, even Christopher Sanchez. I mean, we know how good he is, and he has not. His numbers are incredible, right? But he has not, in the last two starts, he has not been the Christopher Sanchez that we're accustomed to seeing. So my belief is the fact that they were not, and look at how fast we started the last 2 years when we didn't have the World Baseball Classic. I mean, they were all playing together, training together, got together at the same time. It's probably one of those things that people not necessarily want to talk about. I mean, particularly kind of a Venezuelan guy that won the World Baseball Classic this year after 3 years ago, Turner hit that home run with the bases loaded to out us out of the team. So we got back to Turner this time. But look, the reality is I do believe the World Baseball Classic disrupted some of the teams, and particularly the Phillies that had so many members of the team playing in the World Baseball Classic. I don't know. Give me your thoughts in terms of what would be the real story of why we are off to this type of start.
I think that's possible about the World Baseball Classic. I also think this is just who these guys are. We've seen. I think that's what has everyone so concerned. I mean, like you said, Oscar, 7-8. That's not an awful start. It's just a mediocre start. But when you see the problems that have been issues for the last few years creeping up again already, right off the bat, it's worrisome. They haven't done these small things right for years. They can cover it up when they're really hitting well, but times like now, they're not good enough to overcome these mistakes. They need to tighten everything up.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, if you look at some of the other guys, the big hitters in the MLB right now, I mean, Aaron Judge struggling a little bit with the Yankees. Cal Raleigh has been really bad for Seattle. I do think maybe there is something to do with the WBC. It's kind of interesting because you think that would give them a bit of a head start facing much better competition than AAA and AA pitchers when we got to the dog days of spring training. So I do think there's something there. I do think this team, and there's some other teams around Major League Baseball as well, they just lack fundamentals. The approach just doesn't seem that great at the plate. I know there's a lot of fans that want to blame Topper. They want to blame Kevin Long. So maybe there's just some players that aren't as good as they're going to be or that fans want them to be, and they kind of have to accept that reality.
Yeah, sometimes guys just get off to a slow start. And I think that, we saw it last year where Brandon Marsh didn't have a single hit in all of April. The rest of the year, he's the best hitter on the team, maybe one of the better hitters in the game over that stretch. I do like what you said about the World Baseball Classic, and I'll go back to something, although I know people hate some of the idioms that Topper goes back to, but something that he goes back to often is when you have this big emotional moment and then there's a big dump afterwards, it's hard to recover, whether it's game to game, whether it's inning to inning. These guys had to get geared up for this World Baseball Classic way earlier than they normally would, and there's an emotional dump after that. And then they had to go back to spring training where you're supposed to be working and tinkering, and all of a sudden, like you said, they didn't have a normal spring training and they didn't get to work with their team. And this is kind of their spring training. I'm not saying that's an excuse, just an explanation.
Schwarber, Harper, Aaron Nola, they all lasted until the last day or the day before the last day in the case of Aaron Nola. I mean, that they were there. Christopher Sanchez was there a couple of days before. So to me, and the other thing is the chemistry of the team. When you're in a spring training, you're all kind of, it's a collaboration. You're all working with one another. And somehow the way I feel this team is operating is on kind of individual stars versus the collective sum of its parts delivering greater results for the team. And look, to me, it shows. I mean, Harper is on his own. I mean, absolutely tearing the league this week. And look, the team was able to manage only 2 games. I mean, it reminds me, Jeff, of the A.J. Brown. When A.J. Brown goes about 100 yards, the Eagles don't win. So
the only difference is like Bryce Harper hitting. You want to see that, right? If he was in a slump, and you know what? If I'm looking at some positives right now, it does feel like Trey Turner's swing is getting back. And I asked Trey about that today, and he said, yes, it is getting there. He admitted that. He gave me a long, detailed answer on that. Kyle Schwarber, I think he's not where he wants to be, but he's getting there. It's what I'm worried about is the Alec Bohms and the Bryson Stotts of the world. They're the ones that are just destroying this offense right now.
And even Adolis Garcia is now in a massive slump right now. I mean, he's very streaky. He's very streaky. That's who he is as a player. I mean, John, and one of the things that you mentioned around the comparison, is this team different than previous years and all that? We're going to see all that in a few minutes. I put some things that I think are going to be very, very telling as we go into our conversation today. Why don't we start here? I mean, as kind of where this division is. So, look, the Phillies are only 2 games behind the Braves. The Braves pitching staff have been pitching lights out, 2.5 ERA to start the year. They've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, they're scoring 5.1 runs a game. Look where the Phillies are in terms of scoring runs. And this week was even worse. It was 2.8 for the Phillies in terms of scoring runs. But look, and we're minus 16 in terms of differential. We're 5-5 or less, 10 games. Look, it's fine. They're in a position. The question is, are we talking about a foundational issue with this team based on how they play I mean, they has consistently year after year, they have improved their win record, 95, 96. And you go back to a few years ago, was it 82 in 2008? And then suddenly we continue to win more games every year. I believe this team is very similar, with the exception of the young guys that are trying to replace some of the earlier guys. And I'm going to show some of the slides in a few minutes. But look, this is kind of where the team is right now and where the dynamics of the leagues are. Anything pops out, calls your attention here? By the way, New York is in trouble. By the way, the Mets are 0-5 and the Yankees are 0-5. So everybody's dying there in New York today.
Well, that's the thing too. Like the Mets aren't hitting, the Yankees aren't hitting. This is around baseball. So this is where your World Baseball Classic theory comes in, by the way, Oscar. But I think it's concerning. And look, this is great for Justin Crawford, right? Justin Crawford is proven to be a really good player through 15 games. Here's the issue. He's your best hitter through 15 games. That shouldn't be the case.
That's not going to work. And that's how you end up with that big red number there, 3.5 runs a game. It's not going to get it done.
Yeah, and the thing that sticks out to me the most is this team has been built on pitching these last few years. We know that they have superstars in the lineup, but to see a negative 16 run differential, you have to put up enough to bail out your pitching when they do struggle, because it's going to happen. It's a long season. They are the thing that will drive this team to the playoffs. They're going to get a playoff spot almost by default because of how good their pitching can be when it's at its best. When it's not at its best, that's when you need the offense to pick it up, and they haven't been. The only team in the division with a minus run differential, and it's a -6. Oh, excuse me, the Mets at -3, but -16 is just not a good sign for this team. And again, the offense not being able to pick up the pitching staff when they need them to has been an ongoing issue for this squad for a couple years now.
And somehow this trend about scoring 4 or 5 runs in an inning and then not scoring the entire game, or for 2 straight games we didn't score in San Francisco, is very, very concerning. I mean, it's like a streaky, strange.
And it seems like this team, and there's other teams in Major League Baseball, they're super reliant on the home run. It seems like that's where they've been scoring their runs. And sometimes, and it sounds weird, but home runs can kill a rally in an inning. You want to keep passing the baton. You want the next guy to just follow suit, continue to find hits. I know they had 4 or 5 extra base hits consecutively in that big inning today. But the negative 16 run differential, as Kyle pointed out, that's the 4th worst in Major League Baseball right now. And that's just pretty surprising considering the lineup and what they are expected to do. I agree with Jeff. I think Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott are just really hurting this lineup right now. I know they're struggling. You don't want to bring in the personal issues, but I find it hard to believe that Alec Bohm isn't sidetracked with the whole ordeal with his parents and the mismanaging of his money. But there is something that this team needs to do, because you're right, Oscar and Jeff. Justin Crawford is the best hitter, and he's one of the youngest players in Major League Baseball, and he's played 16 games as a pro, and he's holding his own, which is a huge boost to the bottom of this lineup. But they need these other guys to start contributing.
Yeah, and you would think maybe some other guys can look at the young guys' approach, and you talk about Corey, you talk about stringing hits together. Crawford's one of the guys that seems to be doing it, getting on base. I feel like it's in some ways a self-fulfilling prophecy for this team, in that they don't trust the guys behind them. They've seen the inability to string hits together. So then, some of these guys go up there and it's like, I need to hit a home run. I need to stretch the single into a double because I don't trust the guys behind me to put together a few more hits and bring me home. And something has to change with that mindset.
And interesting, a 70% ground ball rate, but he makes contact, guys. That's the key. I mean, he makes contacts. He gets on base. He creates chaos. I mean, with his speed. I mean, and even though he only have one stolen base, by the way, but the guy, I mean, he make his speed. I mean, do the talking when he's around the bases.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Oscar, I had to talk to so many fans and trolls saying that Justin Crawford's swing will never work in Major League Baseball, and that these infield singles he was getting in AAA would be gobbled up. Look what he's doing. These high bouncers over the mound. He has an innate ability to slice the ball the other way. And he said, hey, if the infield's going to be drawn in, that gives me more space to work with. And he's been able to shoot the ball the other way. He did that all in AAA last year, leading the International League, hitting over 330. I mean, it doesn't fit the new mold of baseball, right? He's not going to be a baseball savant darling. But what's wrong with having an old school approach in today's day and age? That's the way I look at it.
Look at what he did. Look at what he did in today's game. He got the sixth inning going with the double. And that kind of – it was like a freight train after that. Trey Turner gets the home run. And then, Kyle Schwarber gets a double. Bryce Harper gets a double. All of a sudden,
you don't need everyone to hit a home run. You need guys to get on base. You know how Venezuela won the World Baseball Classic with guys like Michael Garcia, third base of the Royals, and Luis Arraez making contact. I mean, they are making contact. They're getting on base, and they're letting the other guys, the Eugenio Suarez of the world, to go in and get the big home runs, or the Abreus of the world to get the home run so they can bring them in. But you need to get guys on base, and that's what Crawford is doing. I mean, Crawford has a 400 on base percentage. What else you want? I mean, that's all we need. We asked for this guy.
Exactly. I mean, what else do you want out of guy? And how long before people accept that this is his game and it works, and he's hit over 300 at every stop in the minors. He maintained something like a 330 average, over 1,300 minor league at bats. Sure, major league defenses are a little better, but they're still going to have problems defending against him. You have to respect his ability to bunt for a base hit. Now the third baseman's in. Now he slaps the ball the other way and it sneaks through. So you can get into the details of how expected batting average is calculated and what the ground ball rate is. But at a certain point, you have to just see with your eyes that this kid can hit. And it's, you don't have to get too deep in the analytics. Just watch him play. And this isn't,
we're at
the
double standard now, right now with Crawford, right? Because you got the people who don't think that's going to play. And you got the people who are believers in him and want him lead off or want him moved up in the order. I'm like, what is wrong with having this guy knife and hitting 350?
Yeah, you need a balanced lineup. You need a balanced lineup. You cannot have all home run hitters, or it happens what happens right now. I mean, we don't score. We score 5 runs in an inning, and then we don't score anymore.
Yeah, I would leave him at 9. I mean, he's been great. He's doing well. It's still he's 40, 50 at bats into his major league career. Just leave him where he is. He's saying, well, and it's great to have a guy at the bottom of the lineup to get on base for the big three as the lineup turns over. So I would
he's such an even keel guy, a happy-go-lucky guy. Like, you could tell he's enjoying this whole thing. He's enjoying the daily grind. He's loving how he's seeing success. And look, a lot of the veterans love this guy. Like, they couldn't wait for this guy to come up here. He's providing a spark to this team. Like, he talks to everybody. Like, he's just one of those guys. Like, he's enjoying this moment. Like, let him enjoy it, because it's working for him.
I talked to Otto Kemp last week, and I asked him his thoughts on Justin's start, and he said he can't wait for the city of Philadelphia to see a full season of Justin Crawford because he knows what Crawford can do. And I thought that was just a pretty cool quote from a guy who spent a lot of time playing alongside Crawford during the minor leagues over the last couple of years. I mean, this kid, as Jeff mentioned, he's even keeled. Obviously, his dad is who his dad is, Carl Crawford, longtime big leaguer, but the moment hasn't been too big for him. And I agree. You keep him in the 9 spot. Jeff, you mentioned Trey Turner's swing starting to look a little bit better. I know it's still frustrating that he always seemingly swings at the first pitch no matter what. But if you get Crawford on and you can allow him to wreak havoc on the bases with Turner, Schwarber, Harper, that could be a really nice formula moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think a key for this team will be Alec Bohm getting back to form. I know, Corey, you mentioned he's been a little distracted with some things off, and obviously contract year's got to be some pressure, but he's been a contact-first guy his whole career. A little bit of a tick up last season and this year in the K rate, but overall he has a low K rate, he's a happy swinger, free swinger, but he has always been a contact first guy. If they can find that balance again with him and Stott, who's also typically a contact first player, get Trey Turner back in that mode, what he did last year, maybe whatever he did, instill that in Bryson Stott. And if you can get some of those guys, and like you said, Oscar, get away from the all or nothing approach that some guys seem to be stuck in, at least in the early going. Like I said, it's still early, and I know people don't want to hear that as an excuse, but we've seen what Bohm has done over the years, and I'm a guy who's willing to trust the back of the baseball card. We saw what Bryson Stott did in the spring, but beyond that, the last 60 days of last season, if he can find a little more consistency so it doesn't feel like a repeat of last year with guys like Crawford at the bottom, this really will turn into a well-oiled machine, but right now it just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I think it's a great point about Bohm. I mean, he is the one guy in the past few years who was making consistent contact, who could hit with runners in scoring position, which the team has been awful at this year. And you're seeing the importance of a productive Alec Bohm to this lineup.
So let's walk to a few of the slides, and then we'll stop when we're talking about individual hitters and what should we do to the lineup. I mean, what would we recommend to the Phillies do to a lineup? So 7-8, we're 4-5 at home now. We're 3-3 away from home. In terms of March and April, 2-3 we started in March. Then in April, we're now 5-5. Last year, I put in gray there. We were 14-12 in the month of April. So our best month last year were May, where we went 19-9. And then toward the end of the year with August, 18-11. And then September, 17-8. But the best part of our schedule is now. It's not later. Now things are going to get complicated, because we're going to play 2 series against the Cubs and 2 series against the Braves, and things will not be as easy as playing the Nationals or the San Francisco Giants or the Diamondbacks. I mean, the Diamondbacks are a good team, but they're not as good as, they used to be a couple of years ago. I mean, the Diamondbacks were a much better team than what they have right now, particularly with I look at our relief pitching and some of this team's relief pitching, and it's not even close, guys. So we'll talk more about that, including the comments of a lot of you out there. Thank you for providing us with your comments. So we're 2-1 in the division. That was against the National. We won that series. We're 1-2 against team 500 and above, which is the Diamondbacks. After beating us twice, I mean, they're right now, I think 8-6, I think, or something like that. But they're above 500. And then 8, I think it's 9-7. They're 9-7 now. And then they were 7-7 coming in. And in extra innings, we're 1-1, and in 1-run games, we're 4-3, including the game today. 2-2 in series, and then you see what we talked about, the run differential there, and so a trend that we're going to look at it in a minute. We're 5-4 against right-handed pitching, and 2-4 against left-handed pitching. There's a big issue against left-handed pitching, which we will explore in a minute. Here's the chart that I put every week, where every week I put, we're trying to score more than 4 runs per game, and we're trying to allow less than 4 runs per game. This week, we scored 2.83 runs. I mean, after scoring 4 runs the first 2 weeks or the first week and a half. And then look, we have not been able to be below the 4 run rate that we're allowing per game. 533 the first week against Texas, and then against Washington and Colorado, 433. And this week we went to 4.5. So for the year, we're 7-8, 3.53 runs per game. I think it's 22nd in all of baseball. And then we're allowing 4.6 runs per game. This is not the start that you needed from a performance standpoint on both sides of the equation. And we'll talk about the specifics in a minute momentarily. Any questions with the first two charts before we go into kind of some of the news of the week and some of the dynamics? Anything that surprised you here, guys?
I mean, I don't know if it's surprising, but that 2.83 runs a game. I mean, to get shut out in 2 consecutive games, I mean, it really tells the story right there.
Yeah, 20 straight innings, Sean.
Yeah, let's answer some of the or provide some of the comments here. Here it is. At times, this team looks like it's sleepwalking through the season. It's sometimes it feels that way, and particularly
it feels that way when you're watching it. But I can promise you, they're not.
Well, they score in the last 46 innings. They score only in 3 innings.
I know.
Going back to Monday,
weird.
So it's weird.
I'm telling you, I think they are pressing. I really do. Kyle Schwarber kind of linked that to me on Saturday that he doesn't feel that way, but it does feel like they're trying to do too much right now, and I think that's the problem.
So they're talking about the sweep of the Penn. So my son goes to Penn, so I go for the Quakers. Let's go, Quakers.
There we go. We got some Quaker love in the chat tonight.
I love it. We got the voices of Penn right here.
Look at this. We got the voices of Penn. Be patient. It's better to have a slow start but a great finish. We have some positive. Painter. No, there is positive, and we're going to talk about it. I mean, Painter and Crawford have been. I mean, Painter was incredible today. So
I'll tell you what, that guy was. Man, you don't mess with migraines and the stuff like he was telling us. You know, he was throwing up this morning. Like it was weird because I saw him and he just looked like his normal self. Like you would have never guessed he had a migraine. And 45 minutes of Zach Pop starting, Andrew Painter scratch, and we're like, wait a minute, that's weird. Because I saw Painter walk into the bullpen, and I literally do think Painter got the medication he needed and just gutted it out. But he said if it was an optical migraine, forget it. He wasn't playing.
There's our friend from Phillies and Eagle throwback. I mean, talking a little bit about the frustrating of bringing it back.
Where did you want to tweak the roster? This is my problem. Where did you want to tweak it? They tweaked the bullpen. I'm getting tired of this. What did you want to do? Everybody wants to complain, but no one ever has an answer.
Look, I do believe we're missing a fourth hitter that could take this.
But
team
again,
to
they tried to get one. He didn't come here.
I mean, did they really though, or did they decide we're going to allocate $10 million, 1 year, $10 million deal to right field again?
I am telling you, they thought they had a deal. They did.
I know.
With Bichette. Yeah,
I know about Bichette, but they wanted a right-handed bat. There wasn't many outfield right-handed bats available. They went and took a flyer on somebody who not a lot of people wanted to take a flyer on. A lot of people, not myself, but a lot of people feel like maybe it's time to make a change at third base a year early instead of a year too late. Eugenio Suarez was out there for a long time. If they wanted some pop in the middle, that's what they expected. Now, I don't think that would have helped the issues that they have, right? Because the issue that they have right now is too much swing and miss, and that's what he brings to the table. But there were opportunities to make changes, just maybe not necessarily the changes that needed to be made.
But here's the thing. Phillies fans would have hated Geno Suarez too, because that's all he does. And he's a 190 hitter. It's what he is. Like, he hits home runs.
Absolutely, Jeff. I didn't want Eugenio Suarez here because of the amount of strikeouts. I mean, he's more of the same that we have than what we actually need. So look, nobody's disagreeing that
I think we're all on the same page with this. It's just, what do you do? Like, I think that's
here. Let's talk about some of the positive things, and then let's not concentrate too much on Bichette that is hitting 183 and answering.
Thank you, Oscar. He ain't hitting either. So,
look. On the positive side, look, Wheeler looked. I mean, I saw the entire game. Wheeler looked incredible the other day.
Yes,
I love. He's still the velocity and some accuracy around his throwing. But look, it was so good to see Wheeler being Wheeler and toying around with a lot of these kids. I mean, throwing with his multiple pitches. Look, the guy probably is gonna pitch 1 or 2 more times. His next start, when is it? Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's going to be Tuesday in Somerset. He's going to be pitching for Reading on Tuesday and Sunday. The Sunday start isn't definite yet, but it's going to be. It's going to happen. But yeah, he's going to pitch Tuesday and Sunday in Somerset.
But this guy is coming back, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. He's about 10 pounds under his ideal weight.
He's
and
still
he's gonna
skinny too.
Yeah, but seeing him pitch, this guy's so special. Look, he's the best pitcher we've had for the last 8 years, 5 years, or whatever we want to call it. I mean, this guy has been a true champion. And look, we made it in 22 and 23 and 24 to the postseason thanks to this guy right there. So having him there is going to be incredible, and we wish him nothing but the best. And he's a class act too. So on top of that,
yeah, I was at Wheeler's last rehab start. Lehigh Valley was sitting behind home plate. That sweeper was lethal the other day. I mean, it was working really well. He spoke to the media right after he got out of the game instead of going through his normal post-game routine. And he seemed pretty positive about the breaking ball stuff. He was asked about any concern regarding his fastball velocity, and he noted that last year he came into the season, it was kind of the same issue with the fastball. And he said, hey, if the fastball is not there as a big league pitcher, you have to take pride in finding a way to still throw strikes and still compete. So I'm not saying that Zach Wheeler doesn't think that the velocity will return, but he, I think, is showing the mindset of, hey, maybe, God forbid, this is the way I might have to pitch moving forward. But he looked really good. I asked him how close he felt to rejoining the staff, and he said that he's just got to continue to go out there and get the reps. So I wasn't surprised that he's going to get at least one more start. And I'm in agreement with Jeff. I do think they'll probably give him maybe one more after that, and then ideally he joins the Phillies again. But yeah, he looked really good, and he was really pleased. Talked with Preston Mattingly as well. He was sitting behind home plate intently watching. And basically he just wanted to see how Zach's body was moving, how he was looking, how the ball was coming out. And Preston was pretty pleased as well. So I think all things considered, it was a really positive rehab start for Zach Wheeler.
Scott Lover wrote a very, very good article for the Inquirer where he spoke about Wheeler and some of the other players have had a similar issue. And they basically said that the velocity was the last thing that came. So
yeah, I mean, he dropped 15 pounds, is still down 10. You got to think that as he regains that weight and strength, that some of the velocity will come back. And the great thing is he can still be a highly effective, one of the better pitchers in baseball, even if his velocity isn't where it was in previous years, because he's that good. And I think Wheeler's not really talked about enough when we talk about what's wrong with the Philadelphia Phillies. You know, arguably their best player hasn't been around yet, so it'll be great to see him come back.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Any update? I know that Aiden Miller started swinging a bat, which is great news. Any update on him? I mean, that you guys know?
I mean, I keep hearing. Well, this is of last week, and keep in mind this is like last Sunday. I was here in May. I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore. I mean, Dave Dombrowski not talking about this last week due to HIPAA or whatever, can't really reveal what the back injury is. I'm curious. Like, I personally, I think it's sciatica. That's just an opinion. That's not actually. But like, it's just a really weird injury. Like, I don't know like when he's going to be back up in Lehigh. If he's going to be back up in Lehigh anytime in the next couple of weeks, it's, you know, I think everybody was hoping like Aiden Miller would be on the fast track to right now replacing Alec Boehm, and I think the Phillies were thinking that too.
Yeah, everybody was thinking about it. I mean, he's the 14th best player according to Baseball America. He has a 90 percentile on exit velocity last year, and he stole 59 bases. This kid is the real deal. This kid is really, really special. We hope that his back gets healthy very, very soon because we need him. We need him up here in Philly. So hopefully he'll get back soon.
That's my other complaint, by the way, when I see Kevin McGonigal hitting like he's doing. Oh, the Phillies passed on him. Yes, so did everybody else. Like
Adam Miller is look, Adam Miller is special, guys. Just be patient. Just be patient. Yeah.
That's the thing. The people complain about Adam Miller probably never seen Adam Miller swing a bat.
How many guys with the power potential this guy has? 90 percentile exit velocity. And 59 stolen bases, guys. 59. It's not one. I mean, it's 59 stolen bases. The power speed potential of this guy. I mean, and Nori and Crawford, they're exciting times coming ahead. So, and Escobar, man,
Dante Nori is crushing it, right? Oh, Arun Escobar too. He's on a 6-game hit streak right now.
Escobar, man, he's a ball player, man. He comes, by the way, he's cousins with Michael Garcia, and he's cousins with Ronald Acuna. Believe me, they're all part of the same bloodline, and they come from the same city. It's a very, very small city in Venezuela. Next to the beach is called La Sabana. It's called La Sabana, and they are all like, the only thing they do in that city is play baseball. That's the only thing they do.
That's a dream, man. I love that.
Don't forget about Miller. It does stink that he's not starting the season, but he did battle back soreness last year and was absolutely electric on the ball field. So they're just taking it easy with their young guy because they know that once he's on the field, he may be knocking the door down. They want to make sure he's 100% when that time comes.
Okay, let's get to some of the exciting stuff now that we're bringing here. Of course, we have to show the rooks. I mean, the rooks are special, guys. Look at those numbers. 341 batting average, 406 on base percentage, 4 doubles, 7. Who can say he doesn't have any power? He cannot bring the ball out there. 7 runs, 1 RBI, 10 strikeouts, and 4 base on balls. I love every bit of it. Last year, he had a .411 on base percentage in AAA. This year, he's at .408 in the big leagues, guys. Love it. I absolutely love it. That .408 is special.
It's remarkable. When I was asked what I thought Justin Crawford could finish at, for a full season, I said if he hit 275, 280 with an on-base percentage in the high 300s, I think they would take that. And the guy is hitting 341 in the first 14 games. Again, we talked about it earlier in the show. It's unorthodox. It doesn't fit the mold of today's analytical game, but it works, and that's all that should matter. And Justin Crawford just has a very impressive ability to put bat to ball, and we talked about it. The Phillies, the Yankees, the Mets, there's a lot of teams out there that just don't have enough of those type of hitters.
Yeah, and at some point the results just speak for themselves. I mean, he's it's early in his major league career, but he's done this year after year in the minors. And it's just for some guys the way their game is, the analytics just can't really figure it out.
Right.
You look at Brandon Marsh, his batting average and balls in play has been something like 350, 370, 380 year after year after year. And that's supposed to be unsustainable, but it's just something about the way he plays makes those rules sort of not apply. And I think that's what we're seeing here with Justin Crawford, that, for most players, a ground ball the opposite way, probably going to be an out. For Crawford, with the third baseman drawing in, that sneaks through. They shade him a little the opposite way. And then he hits a walk-off game-winning single to right field that had some of that, like a really low expected batting average on that hit. So, you can't say enough about this kid, and he's going to be fun to watch for a long time.
Absolutely. Let's talk quickly about Andrew Painter. I mean, look, Andrew Painter today showed me that we've seen it, but this is not the same pitcher that was pitching in AAA last year. I mean, this guy was throwing with that lineup, 5 innings, incredible, 7 strikeouts. Today he was filthy. The curve, the slider, the sweeper, the fastball. I do believe the fastball will get even better as he continues to go, hopefully, throughout this year. But
the fastball was down today, Oscar. Like the fastball and the sinker were down, and he was still able to get these guys out.
Oh, the curve, man! That thing dropping was. I'm telling you, I saw Justin Verlander pitching today. He's special, man. He's very, very special.
Yeah, and a lot of the concerns last year were his inability to control the fastball. But you see, even if he doesn't have the velocity, he was dotting all day long. The 16 strikeouts to 3 walks is the most impressive thing from the rookie to me.
Absolutely.
That shows a poise on the mound that you don't always see in a 22-year-old. Whether it was his first relief appearance like it was today or coming out and starting in the first one on the 31st. The kid has just shown that he has the cojones needed.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He shows that he's got the chutzpah, if you will, to succeed at this level.
And I think his mental toughness really stood out today. He had a rough outing against San Francisco and the House of Horrors out there against the Giants, but he comes back. He bounces back. Jeff mentioned the migraine issue, what he was dealing with. I mean, I think, in my opinion, that had to earn him some serious respect points within the veterans of that clubhouse today. That here's a kid who easily could have said, hey, I'm not in my routine. I'm not doing what I normally do every fifth day. I'm just going to take the day off. Could have put Zach Pop in a really bad situation. Could have put the bullpen in a really tough situation. And he says, no, you know what? I'm going to go out there. I'll come in relief. And he just looked incredibly sharp today. And I think that will go a long way for not only him personally, but for him as a teammate as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I really liked about the whole Painter ordeal was if he couldn't go, there was the opportunity for the Phillies to potentially DFA and lose somebody because they just didn't have enough arms today. Like Kirkering was down. Brad Keller was down. So, we were making the joke pregame, like, oh, Tanner Banks is going to pitch 5 innings today. Someone's going to have to do it if Andrew Painter can't go. And, but they just really didn't have anybody. So you lose Painter. The fact that Painter was able to give them 5 innings and just kind of grind out, and who knows how he was really feeling. And Rob Thompson pointed that out. Like, he may have had the migraines during the game. We don't know. He said he was fine. He said he feels fine, but it's something he's been dealing with his entire life. He said even since travel ball in high school. It's just, but it's always happened like the night before, never the day of. So, I mean, he came in, he told them, and they did whatever they could to make sure he was better.
He did his part, man. He looks, I mean, there's Tim talking about Crawford, and he's the real deal. Forget about the analytics. I mean, the guy can hit. So let's talk. I wanted to share this because those that talk about running it back, take a look at the numbers, guys. The numbers don't lie. This is where Bader and Nick Castellanos, I know Nick Castellanos is not only playing right field, he's playing all over the place. They have a minus 0.02 WAR compared to 0.1 and 0.1 for Adolis Garcia. So according to this, and again, I know it's 15 games or whatever that is, 14 games.
But this is what we got, right?
Yeah, that's what we got. So look, Adolis Garcia as well as Justin Crawford have been more productive than Harrison Bader and Nick Castellanos. And look,
and I said the outfield was better. I mean, Crawford shows
again,
that.
It's early. We'll show this as we go throughout the year because it's always important to keep it. There's a friend of mine, Carlos Blanco Torres, said you have to show this on the show today. I mean, the comparison between the outfielders, and I thank him for that because this is an interesting way to look at things.
But Oscar, I agree with you with Garcia. Like, he's a streaky hitter. It's just the way it is. And now he's going to be the cleanup hitter starting in the Cubs series. So I'm really curious how that changes. I mean, really, it's the reality is they just don't
maybe that inspires him. Look, the way these guys are, everybody's different, guys. I mean, these are human beings. I mean, he's originally from Cuba. He's a good guy, hardworking guy, and he loves the limelight. I mean, so maybe putting him forth. I mean, the guy goes crazy. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
this is a guy who actually likes to get booed.
Well, and if you look under the hood, I just pulled up Garcia's Baseball Savant page. He's running some tough luck. I mean, the expected batting average is 249, and you got him right there, 220. So, and you look at the average exit velo, 93, the 93rd percentile. He's barreling barrel percent 83 hard hit percent. I mean, he's squaring the baseball up. He just isn't getting some of the results that come with hitting the ball hard. So I know a lot of people didn't love the move and it's more of a gamble, but as you see, I mean, we only have the 14, 15 games to compare, but I do think when it's at the end of the season, I do think Garcia will end up having a better year than Nick Castellanos.
And that's not even, we haven't even touched on his defense. Yes,
right.
Oscar.
Exactly.
Yes,
right. Exactly.
I mean, it's like you see the guy, I mean, in the outfield, and it's like this guy's he's a really, really good outfielder with a gun for an arm. I mean,
he had a throw today that
16 run saves last year. I mean, it's
the difference between a guy who's a natural outfielder and a guy who is a converted shortstop to third base to first base to outfield. I mean, I don't want to make it all shots on Nick. He did the best he could with his athleticism and or lack thereof at times. Garcia is just a natural outfielder, and he's been playing it since he was a kid, and it shows. It's a big difference between the two players.
I have a serious question with this chart. Am I reading that right? Harrison Bader, OPS plus of -1. Is that possible?
I don't know. I didn't know it was possible. But
I didn't think that existed, but that's incredible.
I mean, you can call a stat head and ask them. I mean, how in the world can you have a?
I mean, he has an OPS of 338. Justin Crawford's hitting higher batting average.
But not kidding. Look where Crawford is. 152. I mean, let's be clear, 100%. And I know that Adolis Garcia is below the 100%. 100% is your average player. 152 is, I mean,
that's elite.
Talking about our favorite word.
It's elite. Yeah.
Justin
I mean, he's a player and a half.
The Phillies. Yeah, Justin Crawford leads the Phillies in batting average and OPS.
I think that's one of the things that's so frustrating is that Crawford has played so well. The tweaks they have made to this team, we talked so much about Crawford and Painter on these previous slides. They've been incredible. Why is the team still 7-8?
Let me go overall here, high level. Let me go high level on this slide. This will show you very interesting stuff. So we're 26 in runs per game, which is pretty bad out of 30 teams. 221 batting average. We're 20th in OPS. We're 6th in OPS. One thing that I'm seeing is the OPS have declined significantly, like 40, 50 points. Don't ask me why yet. It's early and all that. I mean, the average this was an average OPS last year.
It's still a concern, though.
It's down to 680. I mean, it's down to 680, the OPS. But look at the OPS against left-handed pitching. Houston, we have a problem. Or Philly, we have a problem.
That's not going to work. The 502 is not going to cut it.
Yeah, it's not going to cut it.
At least they'll have opportunities to improve that or make it worse this week because it does look like what are they facing, 2 lefties this week?
Yeah. I'll show you that at the end. I'll have all the pictures. 702 against runners in a scoring position. We're 22nd in chasing, so we're back to our old habits of chasing. And Adolis Garcia is one of the biggest chasers there, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that was the problem with signing him. You basically signed another player.
I told you. It's like Castellanos in terms of chasing. We're 20th in whiff. We're 11th in extra base hits. We're 20th in Ks. And we're 6th in base on balls. So, look, this is why are the Phillies struggling? We're not making enough contact, and the contact that we're making is not good enough.
In some ways, it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to be baseball savants to break this down. I mean, we got the numbers right here.
I mean,
we can tell you what the problem is.
I put red on both the batting average. I'm a big believer in on-base percentage. Look where Baum and Stott and Garcia and Marchard in terms of on-base percentage, as well as Turner.
For his last 16, by the way.
What was that?
Isn't Bomo for his last 16?
Something like that.
But and they moved him down to 8th to get him going. It's not getting him going.
Bad, guys. It's bad. I mean, it's bad. And look, you see Schwarber and Harper. Part of the reason that Schwarber has that big OPS is because he has a huge on-base percentage. Of a lot of 12 base on balls he's had so far. Harper gets a base on balls, plus he's been hot over the last week. He was at 120 a week ago, and he's at 273 right now. And then at 375 on base percentage. And
10 for 19 will do that.
Yeah. And look at our top 3 OPSs. Sure. Number 1 is Harper. Number 2 is Crawford. And number 3, Schwarber. Nobody, I'm telling you, nobody would have guessed this in the beginning of the year. Nobody.
Yeah, the guy who has no power is 3rd on the team in slugging percentage, apparently. Yeah. I mean, that's, whatever.
If someone would told me that, like, when the season started, I was like, so what, they start like 12-3?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating to see.
Look at the strikeouts. Turner, 15. Schwarber 24, Garcia 17, March 14. I mean, those are the biggest strikeouts, and Schwarber, we know what he does from a base on ball standpoint.
And they've also had JT Realmuto just basically take balls off his foot all week. He wasn't available today.
That is painful.
Yeah, I mean, he was sore. Like when I asked Rob today, he said sore. He said he wanted to go. I think their plan was to play him until this all came, but I think
he might even miss tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, he could miss tomorrow. By the way, Marchand, I mean, look, Marchand's a good catcher. I mean, he's a good defensive catcher. He's a good defensive catcher. And look, I think if you give him enough playing time, his bat can wake up. I know he has not been hitting well, and he hit too many fly balls today, but he had an at-bat against Gallen of 10 pitches. That was a tremendous at-bat.
That's why I thought today was interesting after the game when we were in the clubhouse. We did not see any offensive player that wasn't required to go talk to us, and except for Marshawn. And I'm like, well, okay, the backup catcher's out here. Where is everybody else? And I'm like, are they having a team meeting we don't know about?
Yeah. They're talking about Harper was probably mad at them because they didn't hit enough this week. So
I don't blame in that regard. Like, he's hitting. Schwarber's hitting.
He had a great week. By the way, guys, here is some very interesting stuff about situational hitting, some of the splits. So it's not like we're hitting it out of the ballpark from a right-handed pitcher standpoint and versus left-handed pitcher, but we're awful against left-handed pitching. We are at best average against right-handed pitching this year, and you see our numbers with runners in scoring position. I'm going to keep doing this chart so we could see the progress throughout the year, but this does not look pretty at all. And then, John, going back to your original comment about what's going on with this team, take a look. We wanted to improve the 720. This is 2025 OPS, and this is how much we have in 2026. And you see, I mean, look at the green. There are only 3 greens, and everything else is red.
Yeah, and of course, it's Schwarber, Harper, Crawford.
I mean, look at our fourth hitter, 524 versus 720 last year, which we said we need to fix that.
Yeah. Why can't the Phillies score runs?
Well,
now we're talking about splits here, and I'm just throwing this out here for a discussion. But would you guys consider putting Edmundo Sosa in the lineup regardless at some point this series, just to see if he could provide a spark? I know he's not hitting well. I know he's better against lefties OPS wise, but I was at that game where he basically single-handedly won it for them against Washington in that series. Just get somebody in the lineup that's hungry to play and help the team. I'm not saying he's going to be the answer, but get Bohm out of the lineup for a day. Let him just reset. I mean, is there just something that Edmundo Sosa could possibly provide? Again, numbers aren't great to start, but neither is Alec Boehm's or even Bryson Stott's.
Yeah, I mean, Sosa's always a guy that brings energy, excitement, and it comes to play. Maybe the results aren't there yet for Sosa, but what do you have to lose by putting him in the lineup right now over Bohm or Stott?
And you want to talk about energy, guys? Him and Adolis Garcia, very close friends, both fiery guys. That might bring a jolt to the lineup, Corey. I like where your head's at. Yeah,
look, I know. I mean, he's an emotional guy. I mean, Mundito is. He's not the long-term answer. Let's just put it that way. He's not the long-term answer.
But I'll take a short-term answer right now.
Right.
I think you need it.
Just a little jolt, right?
That's a good one. That's a good one, John. You got me, man. You got me.
But you're not
going to play this week, so you might as well just get it going tomorrow, right? You would think. Give him a day off or two.
Yeah. So we'll look at the matchups in a minute, and then we'll see when the right-handed bats are probably going to come out into the lineup. But I agree with you. They deserve to be in the lineup. Here's where our pitching is. I said it, and I will repeat this again. To me, the most important stat the entire year, if there's – sorry, let me take your – is that your brother, John?
I think it's my dad.
It's your dad. Look at that. Oh, my God.
Is that the Fisher eye? Is that the
Oh, my God. I'm hiding your face. Hold on 1 second.
That's why we're doing it.
Here's your
Papa
boy.
Fish joining the chats. Come on.
Oh, my goodness. Here's your boy.
The Fishers are good people. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
To me, the most important stat this entire year is the ERA among starting pitchers. Last year, we were second or third in all baseball. I think we were second behind the Texas Rangers. If there's one stat that we must hit the mark, is that this team is built around pitching, and that stat needs to be elite. It needs to be in the top 5 in baseball for us to be able to make it far this year. 268 and 24th in baseball is not good enough. There's a lot of inconsistency our starting pitching that we've seen so far, and I'm concerned about.
So, Oscar, I guess I guess Zach Pop technically counts as today, right?
Yes, I separated it a little differently.
I did not add him to this slide. I probably
if you go by the five starters, they have a 4.50 ERA, so not a huge difference, but it is a slight difference.
I didn't think it would be, but I was wondering how that equates.
No. I mean, forget about him for a second. I mean, let's play high level. They probably put him as a starter, and his numbers are there. But look, in the context of things, I mean, I know Christopher has not had it somehow. And this is the combination of the hitting as well, because the combination of the hitting has huge impact in this guy's getting a win or not. I mean, a 1.65 ERA after 3 games, you would say, wow, it's unbelievable. But in one start, he allowed so many hits. I think 11 hits in one start, and the other one he allowed the only bases on balls he's allowed, and he did not win those games, and he had issues. I mean, in the last 2 starts. I mean, so he has. I mean, his strikeouts are incredible. I mean, 16 innings, 23. Strikeout. The same thing with Luzardo. If you look at the number, forget about the ERA of Luzardo. He has 17 innings. He struck out 26 and 4 bases on balls. And it's just incredible. I mean, you look at those numbers, you say there's no way
on this team. Huh? I mean, look at the strikeout to walk ratio of this rotation.
It's incredible.
Insane.
It's incredible. Yeah. And you'll see it in the previous slide. You saw it there. Look at this is why I think the future is very, very bright. Look at the bases on balls and look where they rank in baseball and strikeouts. So I mean, it's incredible. I mean, we're third. Our starting pitchers are third in baseball among all starters in bases on balls and second in strikeouts. Yeah, and overall, our pitching is number 1 in all of baseball, allowing less bases on balls.
Yeah, I really think these numbers are going to improve. I think that starting pitcher ERA is going to improve significantly. You know, when you were on the other slide, you could see it. A big chunk of that 468 is Taijuan Walker's number, and you're going to swap Wheeler in for Walker.
Sorry, my bad.
You're going to swap Wheeler in for Walker, eliminate that. Luzardo is not going to have a 6.23 ERA. Nola's pitching well. We haven't talked about Nola yet, but he's been it's been pretty encouraging the way he started the season. Painter's exceeding expectations, and Chris Sanchez is Chris Sanchez, even without his best stuff, the 1.65 ERA. So I think the starting pitching is going to come around. That's not a long-term concern.
Yeah. But let's make sure we don't allow too many home runs there too.
Yeah, the home run ball is the issue.
2 things for me. So Walker, obviously, you just mentioned him switching back to a long relief role. He thrived in that last season. His ERA was more than a run better. His home run rate was much better out of the bullpen. He was able to really play his stuff up a little bit, that bulldog mentality playing out there. And on the flip side, Jesus Luzardo. Yes, the ERA looks inflated. You look at some of the other ancillary numbers here. Not that there's luck in this, but there's a stat that I love as a future predictor of success, and it's FIP. It's fielding independent pitching. It kind of shows what the pitcher is responsible for and how well they've done within that. Well, you see the 6.23 ERA. His FIP is nearly 4 runs lower at 2.37. So if you take out the fielding, which, as we've seen, has, despite being pretty good all over the place, has had its moments with misreads in the outfield from Kemp and Crawford at times, he's pitching like an elite pitcher. It's just not showing up in the box score on the final score. So that is going to regress to the mean eventually. That 6.37 or 6.23 rather is an outrageous number that it's not going to stay like that. He has pitched.
You take away one bad inning. You take away one bad inning on Friday.
I agree. I still cannot believe he allowed 5 runs in an inning. I still, to me, it's like something happened in that inning that it was like I don't know how you call it.
It was like the Boston game last year. You just couldn't get it out.
I was going to say there was 2 games in a row last season where he allowed 20 earned runs in like 4 innings. So it's happened, but he's been electric besides that. So I think that you're going to see him get back from that pretty quickly. And like you said, when Wheeler comes in here, he's going to be a stabilizing force for that entire pitching staff. But the pitching has not been the concern. It's the lineup.
The pitcher, and then here's where, other than Alvarado, that had his issues, I mean, in terms of 5 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, he needs to get going. He needs to get in shape, and he needs to get going.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a change in the back end of that bullpen, because I kind of asked Rob about Tim Mesa a couple times today, and I finally got to ask him later. Again, this is another good outing.
Yeah,
Is
and
he
he
gonna
said
be in
he's
the
going
conversation
up
to
in the
move up?
pecking order. He's going
Yeah,
up in the
yeah, that's what he
pecking
told
order.
me. He's going
Yeah.
up in the pecking order. And, well, who's he going up in the pecking order for? Has to be Alvarado, right?
Yeah, the challenge with Alvarado is when you bring Alvarado down, look at, if you get a chance, look at the pitches Alvarado made. First of all, it was a weak ground ball to right hand side.
Yep.
And then the same thing happened on the other side. The guy was unlucky. I mean, I'm telling you, today he did not
today
pitch
was
as bad.
weird. Today was weird.
I mean, which is unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? The numbers do the talking. Even if a hit is a hit, even if they're like a bunt, I mean, or whatever, they are, the exit velocity is minimal. So it is what it is. Look, this bullpen has the potential to be one of the best in all baseball. If it is not right now, it has the potential. The arms are there. There is no doubt in my mind about it.
By the way, Kerkering should be in the green. He hasn't allowed an earned run.
What do I have? 6 there. Somebody put a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say he hasn't allowed an earned run. He's allowed 2 runs, but they weren't his.
Okay.
I want to highlight Jonathan Bolin, too. He kind of got nickeled and dimed earlier in the season, and kind of piggybacking off of what Kyle mentioned with Luzardo. But Bolin's expected ERA is a 1.60.
Yeah, that's
so
insane.
I mean, this is a guy that has a heavy sinker ball. He's throwing a fire blazing sinker and fastball. His average is 97.3 with his sinker. I mean, he is really been a good addition. I think fans are really going to like him. And yeah, I mean, 3.86 still isn't bad considering a week ago it was north of 6 because relievers ERAs will balloon a lot quicker, but he has an expected ERA under 2. I mean, this is a very under the radar trade that I think Dombrowski made. And oh, by the way, they've got 5 years of control of this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, by the way,
really,
the Kerkering stat, they made it an earn run they made it an earn run. So I don't know if
did they change it? Yeah.
They might have changed it.
Yeah.
It's an air run and he has a 6 ERA.
Yeah. So that they must have changed it when they probably changed it today because I haven't seen any.
Yeah, Baseball Reference still has it that he didn't give up an earned run yet. So it definitely.
Let me look at.
I have it that way in True Media too.
Yes,
but overall, I mean,
either way. Yeah,
this is a nasty bullpen, and I think they've been just like the starters. I think there's been a little bit of bad luck involved. Lines up. I think the eye test lines up with some of the numbers you guys are mentioning, Cory and Kyle, in terms of expected ERA. They're going to be better than these numbers, which aren't even that bad. Right. But these numbers are going to improve. The starting pitching is going to improve, and even if the lineup doesn't get there, I think you're going to see a lot of 3-2, 4-3 wins.
And Foley, one of the things that stuck out to me, like everybody talked about how they're running it back, and that lazy narrative to my eye at least. They had a specific goal in mind of revamping this bullpen. They were one of the worst teams in baseball last year when it came to ground ball rate. They had a very high fly ball rate. And at least in the early going and based on last year's numbers, you look at Duran, Keller, and Bolin, an elite level of inducing soft contact and ground balls. I mean, when you have defenders like Stott and a rejuvenated Turner up the middle, you can thrive if you can get the ball driven into the ground late in games. And I think once this offense starts to pick up and look like its normal self, it's going to be even more obvious to fans what a difference maker this bullpen can be during the regular season and, more importantly, come October when those games get shorter for the starters.
Couple of things before we talk about ABS and a couple more things before we close. Here's Martin. The team biggest problem is the offense. Harper is the key, and Crawford isn't at the top for right now. But once he takes over as the leadoff hitter later on, the offense should pick up. I don't think, to my best understanding, he for now he's not going to be the leadoff on this team. Maybe later on in the year, maybe potentially.
I would be shocked if they do it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to do that.
You let the kid there and let him shine. Let him shine.
You're talking years from now. Not
you have Turner
now.
And you have Turner hitting leadoff. Look, Turner needs to get going. I want to see more hits toward right field for Turner. Base hit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I need to see more base hit of Turner. Last year, he needs to copy what he did last year.
But again,
Right.
the whole Crawford leadoff thing, this is like the overreaction to thinking the season's over because they're 7-8 after 15 games. Like they were 4-9 once and they made the NLCS. Like John's the king of the 1980, 2008 comparisons. Like what were they after 15 and 08, John?
Yeah, I mean they were pretty much in the same place. I know as of after 14 games they were 7-7.
The problem is,
and even worse in 1980.
Yeah.
So it's that doesn't mean this team's going to do what the 2008 or 1980 team did. But what it does tell us is that we don't know a whole lot about what they're going to do yet. We just don't know. Like 15 games isn't enough to really understand what this team is about and start making moves that I think taking Crawford out of the 9-hole and putting him lead off would that would be a panic move, and you don't really make a panic move after 15 games. Maybe down the line, but
the last time I ever remember like a mass panic after 15 games was 2007 when they were 4-11. That's because Charlie Mangle got into it with Howard Eskin.
Yeah.
And if you look through the last 4 years, they have started off pretty much around 500, especially in April. Last year, 14-12. 2024, they were 19-9 in April. 2023, 15-13, and in 2022, they were 11-11. So this isn't anything new for what the Phillies have done over the last few seasons.
Yeah.
2022 was the World Baseball Classic, 11-11. I mean, it's automatic.
The problem is negativity and hot takes spark engagement these days. And if you could say they suck, you're going to get a lot of people agreeing with it.
Team have
That's all it takes.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, man. What have I been doing
Kyle,
wrong?
just make a hot take out the season's over.
Team have a couple of thoughts here that I like, and it's not necessarily Baum. I think Baum and Stott sitting them for a couple of games just so they can get their head up straight. I mean, would be, in my opinion, very beneficial. It goes back to putting Mundito and maybe Kemp. I mean, you can put Kemp at a game playing third base.
Right. Let him play his natural position and get those guys some rest.
The other thing, I do believe the starter get in their head when they understand the team isn't hitting. I mean, and that's a very, very valid point. I do believe there is this dynamic that when one team struggles, the other one doesn't come together, things become a little bit more cumbersome. So it's something worth looking at.
I think Schwarber pointed it out perfect on Saturday. They're trying to do too much, right? When we're not trying to do too much is when we start doing stuff. And I think he sees that. I think that was his like quiet, subtle message. Like, guys, you're pressing it. You're
contact.
Trying to get that hit.
Make contact. Yeah. That's the only.
You're trying too hard to get that hit.
Make contact. Yep. Make contact. Don't hit home runs. I mean, home runs. The first thing they tell you on hitting, you don't plan home runs. I mean, you hit the ball as hard as you can and just try to make contact. And Turner needs to go to right field.
Yeah, and that's the best part about Justin Crawford. He doesn't have to worry about that because he's not a power hitter.
Absolutely, 100%. So here is the ABS thing. So the overall number is 54% in terms of ABA system, 61% for fielders, primarily catchers, and 47% for hitter. The number on the hitters continue to decline. I am a big believer that both the pitcher and the hitters are very emotional making those decisions, and there is not a strategy thinking behind it, and they run out of they run out of counts too early. And what happened when you run out of counts too early, the umpire relaxes and he can do whatever he wants. I mean, seriously,
Oscar is ready to say it.
I mean, you need to hold at least one till the end so you can keep the edge. And look, is it unfair for the umpires to be put on the spot? 100%. Did they make the decision this way? The rules are the rules, and you've got to play with the rules. You need to keep a challenge until the end so the umpire continues to watch himself. If not, the other day, I think it was the National Series when they were here in Philly, that they went out and they threw up. They ran out of challenges, and I saw the umpire towing with them, and I was laughing. I mean, just pitches outside, anywhere near outside, they were all strikes. So it's a huge advantage. So keep the challenge, at least one challenge until the end.
They need to add another one at this rate. I mean, come on.
No, I mean, it's hard. Look, the beautiful thing about the Phillies, the average fielders have 61% success rate. 82% success for, I think Romuto is like 5 for 5, and Marchand missed his first call today. I think he's 1 for 5 right, 4 for 5 right now. So we had 11 challenges and we have won 9 of them, an 82% clip, which is beautiful. And our hitters are at 54%. I saw the one that is a master at it is our best. Is Schwarber. Schwarber he knows the strike zone better than anyone on this planet.
Yeah. I love the at bat where he started walking to first base even after
he started walking to first base.
Right.
They call the strike. Started walking to first base and he taps his helmet. I mean, This is a veteran team, and you got guys like Schwarber who really know the strike zone, and these numbers should stay pretty good all year long.
I mean, I think we all saw Kyle Schwarber's opinion of the strike zone on Sunday Night Baseball a couple years ago.
Oh, man.
Right.
That was one of the most epic rants I think I've ever seen.
I'm going to call Angel Hernandez to come back to Major League Baseball. That was epic, man. That was against the Milwaukee Brewers. I will not forget that game.
It was around this time, too.
Yeah, it was around this time.
It was
You're absolutely right.
Remember, like the bad call, and I'm like, oh my god,
you're absolutely right. Let me go with a few more. I got a couple more slides for you guys, and this is what's coming out. This is what's next for the Phils. So we have a 3-game series at home against the Cubs. Then we have 3 games this week against at home also against the Braves. So we got Sanchez and Assad. Assad is coming back. I think he's only pitched once. He was pitching for the Mexican team, I believe, as well. He's okay. He's a good pitcher, but he's okay. I mean, he's not as elite as Christopher Sanchez is. Nola against Rea, and then you have Luzardo against Imanaga, the Japanese guy, and then against the so Imanaga is lefty. Rea and Assad are righties. They're both righties. And then for the Martin Perez, which we're going to see on Friday, is a lefty. He's going to go against Walker. And then we have Chris Sale, which is pitching today. I saw that the Braves were winning 5-0. So they would go up. We would go 3 games, or I think 2.5 games behind the Braves if they win that game. And then Holmes, which is a right-handed pitcher. So we have, to my best understanding, Imanaga, Perez, and Sale. We're going to go again 3 lefties this week. The first 2 are righties. So that's the plan. And then we go away and we play 4 games in Chicago with the Cubs, and then 3 games again against the Braves in Atlanta. Sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
No, it's a big 2 weeks for him. I mean, you can't go 2-4 against the Braves. You would like to go 4-2 against the Braves to cut that deficit, but the Cubs are a good team. You got to play in Wrigley Field 4 times. Oh, by the way, they're not good there either.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
that
last year.
That Wednesday game with Imanaga going against Luzardo can be a really good one. Imanaga was throwing a no-hitter the last time he was on the mound at Wrigley Field. They took him out because of a high pitch count, and the Cubs bullpen gave up the lead right away. So this is a Chicago team that's kind of limping into Citizens Bank Park this week. The offense just hasn't been doing what it's been supposed to. I mean, we were talking about it at the open of the show with how offenses have been down across Major League Baseball. Alex Bregman has been struggling, Pete Crow Armstrong. This is a lineup where Chicago has struggled to score runs. So if you're the Phillies, pitching should take care of business. Can they get to some of these pitchers in Assad and Ray and Imanaga?
Atlanta is 4th in run score, and the Chicago Cubs are 12th with 66 runs per game. 66 runs in total.
This is a really strange schedule, isn't it? For basically the rest of the month, you're going to play the same couple teams.
And you're not going to play the Cubs anymore.
I mean, it's not an easy. It's not easy. I mean, going against Chris Sale is not an easy walk on the park. So, I mean, we know they don't have a Strider yet. The Strider is going to come probably at the end of April, beginning of May. He pitched on Saturday 3 innings against their own hitters, and he said he's ready to go on an assignment. So he will help that starting rotation. But look, I don't think the Cubs have a great starting rotation. So at least Cabrera is probably their best pitcher, together with Managa, as Cory was mentioning. Those are probably the outside of Sale, the toughest pitcher we're going to face this week.
So the Phillies don't play the Braves again. Am I getting this right? They don't play the Braves again until I'm looking at the schedule now.
September, I think, August.
Yeah, I think
August?
it's like August or September, isn't it?
Late August, September.
That's crazy.
Well,
Jeez.
we don't play the Mets in Mets whatever in.
All
in
right, you
Citi
ready,
Field.
Oscar?
Yes.
Labor Day weekend is the next time they play the Braves. 4-game series. Then they play Houston at home, and then they go to Atlanta the weekend of September 11th, and then they're done.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
not.
weird.
It's I don't mind facing them right now. I don't think. I mean, they're playing okay. Their pitching has been lights out, which I'm very, very surprised. Holm has been pitching really, really well. By the way, I picked him up on my fantasy team, just FYI, and he won the game on Saturday.
I've got some shares in Grant Holmes as well, Oscar. That's a good move.
Yeah,
They don't play the Mets at all until June. That's crazy.
Yeah, June 26th.
That's what I'm saying. That's the first day we
Mets.
play in Wrigley Field.
I can't believe it.
In Citi Field, excuse me.
I can't wait for. I mean, like I know we're looking way ahead here. I cannot wait for like the All-Star week. You got the All-Star game, then you get the Mets coming out of it, then the Dodgers coming here, then the Yankees coming here. Like,
Oh, fun.
yeah, that's a fun like 2.5 weeks at Citizens Bank Park.
Anything
Well,
else
guys-
going on in Philly this year too?
You know, I heard
Crazy
someone
summer.
complain. You know, I heard someone complain that they don't have a 4th of July game. I'm like, you don't want a 4th of July game here. There's enough going on in this city.
So I wanted to leave this slide for last when we had the maximum amount of people watching the show. John has, over the last 3 years, he's been a huge part of our team. We cannot thank him enough for being part of the Phillies Weekly team and joining us. And he has something very, very special that he's cooking. So I wanted to take the time, John, to showcase that you're going to be launching Foley's, the Philly Sports Shop. Is coming to town. So why don't you talk to us? When is the opening day and all the magic that you got going?
It's coming to town. Mother's Day is going to be the grand opening, Sunday, May 10th, I believe. And yeah, hopefully, this is my first experience, with a retail store. But I really think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a place where you'd like to just come in, even if you're not buying anything that day, to come in, take a look at what's in there. We're going to have a ton of autographed memorabilia. We're partnering with Hunt Auctions, which is the memorabilia folks, the same memorabilia folks that you would find at Citizens Bank Park, a very trusted name in sport. They've been around for 30 years. We're working with a lot of local designers and artists, and we'll be selling, their designs, t-shirts, prints, and everything. And then just a lot of other just sort of oddities, Philly sports-based products, home decor, things that people make. There's so many talented people in Philadelphia, and so many of them just on Twitter that I've met, and that I really think this is such a creative community, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun to bring all of that together in one place on South Street, 22nd and South. It's a fun location. And
it's in my neighborhood. I mean, I can't.
And it's right near Oscar, so it doesn't get any better than that. So, thank you so much for letting me plug
John,
the shop.
are you going to be selling throwback stuff? Because I'm a sucker for throwbacks.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of everything. It's
the guy's handle is 2008 Phils. You think he's not going to sell some throwbacks?
I mean, I don't know. When I first met him, all he did was tweet about whatever the 2008 Phils did every single day.
Well, there wasn't much else to talk about in 2015. So
that is true. Like, remember, John, we would get excited for like Aaron Nola making his debut, and
yes,
we're like,
yes.
Oh, the future's bright. They're going to start winning. It took them like 7 years to do that.
Took a little while, a little behind schedule, but they got there.
So the best of luck. So May 10th, is that when he's opening? That weekend?
May 10th, Mother's Day. Bring Mom on down. We'll have a good time.
Bring Mama down. I'll be watching construction in the next couple of weeks. So
yes.
we all need Foley's the Philly Sports Shop shirts, John. I take ours, by the way.
You got it.
That is awesome. We'll continue promote it in the next few weeks as he's waiting for the grand opening. Look, guys, I cannot thank you enough for coming over with us for this the second edition of this second show. of Phillies Weekly. I mean, Kyle, any final thoughts? I mean, as we look at this week and playing against the Cubs and the Braves, which is not going to be easy.
No, I'll always say that fans have the right to be as upset as they want to be. Just remind yourself when you're about to have that aneurysm that it is early. It's still the middle of April, so plenty of time. And just shout to John, congratulations, man, and I'll definitely come check it out after opening day.
Did you hear that, Jeff? Did you hear that?
Hey, look. All I gotta say is this: I try not to panic at all, like ever. Like to me, the sky is never falling. Maybe it's the coach in me. I don't know, but hey, you do what you got to do. But don't complain about your mental health afterwards.
Hey, Kyle, where can we follow you on social media?
Everywhere is the same handle at Kyle Fisher 45. So X, Instagram, Blue Sky. And if you give it a shout, we do have my brother and I started a podcast. He did have to back out, but the Brotherly Glove podcast, talking all things Philly sports. So if you want to check that out as well.
You let me know when your dad is on your podcast, and I'll be sure to join.
He will be on for sure, man.
Yeah, I love listening to the Fisher
I want to see Senor John in the podcast, man.
One time all of us were at CBS, and Kyle's like carrying the weight for everybody now.
He's the master.
Got to shoulder the load there, Jeff.
Yeah,
Corey, where can we follow you?
About it.
Yeah, I'm pretty active on X, Twitter at Cory_Nidoh. You can hear me on ESPN Plus. Been covering the Penn Quakers. Quick plug here: the Quakers are playing St. Joe's April 21st against the Hawks out of the A10 for the Liberty Bell Classic at Citizens Bank Park. If you want to see two really good local Philly college baseball teams, you could go and check them out and catch a college game at the ballpark at CBP. So that's coming up in a couple weeks. But yeah, as Kyle kind of mentioned, fans have the right to be mad. I know they don't want to hear that it's early, but look around Major League Baseball, the Mariners, the Mets, the Yankees. A lot of teams are struggling offensively. Let's just give them a little bit more time here to see if they can iron this out.
The Orioles are in first place. Tampa Bay and the Orioles are in first place in the American League.
The Orioles lied to you, Oscar. They said that they fixed their injury problem. They're still injured.
Poor Zach Eflin, man. I feel for him. He's such a wonderful guy, man. Wish him nothing but the best. Where can we follow you on social media, Corey?
Yeah, and X at Cory_Nidoh. Same tag on TikTok, kind of dabbling there. Feel quite old on TikTok, but trying to make it work. But Twitter and Instagram, that's where you'll find a lot of my work.
John Foley. Now do we have a website for the store? We're gonna have a Twitter account. What are we gonna have?
Yeah. So you can follow on Twitter at Foley's on South. And also FoleysOnSouth.com. The website is not operational yet, but the same day the store opens on May 10th, the online site will also launch, and you'll be able to find everything that's in the store will be available online as well.
And John, you'll come back and join us next time so we can talk about the grand opening and all the dynamics that are happening here as the man.
Absolutely.
And you know what? And we might. You know what? We can do a raffle. We can do a raffle here. How about that?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey, John, I need to know this. 22nd and South. So, what is the best cheesesteak place by Foley's?
The best cheesesteak place by Foley's. That's I haven't been in the area
Angelo's
much.
is not too far away. I mean,
no, it's not.
Maybe
That's what I
like
was thinking.
10 blocks.
Kyle and I were just at Jim's today on South, and it's still pretty solid even after the fire and everything. I was pretty pleased with.
But Angelo's is
I haven't been to Jim's.
Angelo's is closer than Jim's. Jim's further on south.
Yeah, it's further east.
Yeah.
But I mean,
nice little stroll.
Yeah, there's a lot of great.
There's a Wawa across the street from the store.
There is a Wawa. I wouldn't recommend the cheesesteaks, but Wawa is always good. There's a Wawa right there. There's a Starbucks.
If John could get me a premium parking spot, I could just park there and then I'll walk to Angelo.
Oh man, I don't even know what I'm doing for parking. I get like 2 tickets a day.
Well,
they're stalking me at this point. They're just following me around because they know.
Sponsored by the Philly Parking Authority.
Yes, sponsored by the PPA.
They've got it already ready to go. They're just ready to slap it on the windshield.
Yeah, yes, in advance.
This guy again.
I don't know what they're doing.
And then you can follow John on 2008 Phils with a Z at the end there. So
With a Z.
Jeff, where can we follow you on social media?
You can
Everywhere.
follow me at Jeff Kerr PHL. I'm still trying to get the Instagram fixed. It's still at Jeff Kerr CBS. I'm trying to get that fixed. Instagram is being terrible with that.
But I can help you fix it. I mean, you just call me.
Yeah,
and
please help me fix it because I don't work for them anymore. So, but yeah, you can find all my Phillies content at 97.3 ESPN, Phillies Fastball during the week with Oscar every weekday at 12, Substack. That's where all my stories are. And for Eagles coverage, Eagles on SI, and get off to a good start so far. We're looking for a social media guru. So if you're interested,
I saw that at LinkedIn today. I mean, that you're looking for a social media guru.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to do Facebook, TikTok, and all that stuff.
Come on,
so we have someone
Jeff,
else.
Come on, dude. You just need to go in and bring it here. Come on.
I don't like social
crowned
media.
TikTok expert, you know.
Yeah. Corey, you're a TikTok expert now. Why don't you go on?
Apparently, yeah.
Hey, you guys are the best. Thank you for joining us tomorrow at 12 at noon. We're with Mike Gill and Jeff on Phillies Fastball. Looking forward to it. And next week we're gonna have a show. Next week is a Sunday night baseball game. We're gonna have kind of a shorter version show immediately after the game. Jeff said that he's going to join from I was going to say Lincoln Financial Field, from Citizens Bank Park, and looking
I'm gonna try to be at Citizens Bank next week. So I got a big bowling tournament next weekend.
Oh, here we go. I knew this was coming. By the way, he got three. He bowled 3 games, 300 games. Look at that. This guy's a machine.
No, if I did that, I wouldn't be in the bowling tournament because I quit.
Okie dokie, guys. Have a wonderful week. Hey, thank you, Kyle, Corey, John. Thank you for joining us. Truly appreciate it, brothers.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks as always, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll see you soon, guys. God bless. Take care.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, campanazo. Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó.